My Wealthsimple portfolio this week is valued at almost $104,000, and today I'm going to break that down for you by covering all my different account values, like my TFSA and RRSP, and we'll also break down all the dividends I've received, as well as all the buys, sells, and deposits I've made over the past week. Welcome back, everyone, to another portfolio update video. My name is Kevin F. Fintrack Freedom, and if this is your first time here, this is my Canadian personal finance channel where my ultimate goal is to one day retire early. So this week, my entire portfolio is valued at $103,845.94. And for the record, I do believe this is the highest my portfolio has ever been, which is great. So of that $104,000, we have $89,111.33 in my Wealthsimple trade account, and a majority of the remainder is in my Wealthsimple Cash account, earning me 5% interest, and in this account we have $13,960.70. As for the transaction logs for the last week, we only really had one movement, and that was one deposit of $600 into my Wealthsimple Cash account from my checking account. As for the dividends, we did receive $15.55 worth of dividends this week. And by the way, this is a new graphic that will be in the video. So if you like this new graphic for the dividends to show how much we got throughout the week, leave me a comment down below. Most of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. And if you didn't know, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. So to help me reach my goal, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon if you enjoy my content. For the like goal on this video, let's see if we can hit 40 likes on this one to help with the YouTube algorithm. Alright, so jumping over to the TFSA, it's currently valued at $34,803.20, and we were relatively flat in the TFSA this week, down just about $160. As for the last month performance, we are up 10%, which is a lot more than I actually thought it was. I didn't know that. And for the 3 months, we are up 2%. In the TFSA this week, we made all of our reoccurring buys, so our $70 buy of VFV, our $30 buy of VDY, our $20 buy of VCE and VIU, and our $10 buy of V. And then lastly, we did receive a dividend of VDY in our TFSA of $9.51, and that was dripped or reinvested back into VDY, so it automatically purchased more shares for us. If you're interested and you're not currently using Wealthsimple, you can sign up using my link in the description or by using the code on screen for your chance to receive between $5 all the way up to $3,000 when you open and fund your Wealthsimple account. Again, link in the description or the code on screen. Alright, so the RRSP is sitting at $27,834.66, and again in this account we have been relatively flat over the last week. As for the last month, up 8% over the last month, and up 5% over the last 3 months. Our purchases in our RRSP this week look a lot different than what they have in the past, and I've kind of restructured the way that I'm going to be using the RRSP as far as like my reoccurring buys. So we had a $70 recurring buy, which is new, of VOO, which is the American version of VFE. Well, I'm probably just the regular version of the S&P 500, I should say. And then we also had an $80 buy of SCHD. We're no longer buying SCHD in our TFSA, and we're no longer buying it in our non-registered account because it gets hit with withholding taxes in both of those accounts, whereas all the dividends will be safe here in the RRSP. So any buys of SCHD will only happen in the RRSP going forward. And then lastly, we received a small dividend of $2.18 from VDY, and that was automatically reinvested for us. So I did used to have reoccurring buys for VDY, VCE, VIU, and V in this RRSP. I will no longer be doing those purchases. Those will just mainly happen in the TFSA now. The non-registered account is sitting at $14,167.49, and just like the two other accounts I've already covered today, relatively flat over the last week, only down $100 over the week, and over the last month we're up 2%, and the 3 month we are up 3%. And just like our TFSA, we just had our reoccurring buys in our non-registered account, so our $70 buy of VFV, $30 of VDY, $20 of VCE and VIU, and then $10 of V. And then lastly, we had our dividend of $3.86 from VDY, which was once again automatically reinvested for us. Wow, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I didn't expect the crypto account to be flat this week, but the crypto account is sitting at $12,312.97, and it's actually up $26 this week. And over the last month, down 2%, and the 3 month is down 1%. And then in the crypto account this week, we had all of our reoccurring crypto buys: $40 of Bitcoin, $30 of Ethereum, and $10 of Polygon, $10 of Chainlink, and $10 of Polkadot. Jumping over to the spreadsheet, we are sitting at $103,835.95. And the annual income, this is actually incorrect right now. I'll explain why in a second. This should be well over 1,300 right now, but for some reason, my dividend yield percentages that are being calculated are all very, very incorrect. And I think that's because the ex-dividend date, or the dividend payout dates for a majority of my holdings, is coming up really, really soon, and it throws off the number for some reason. So, for example, it's saying SCHD is only a yield of 2.67%, but I do believe it is over 3%. And also VFE 0.95, I believe it's like 1.25 or something. So, all these are inaccurate, which is leading my annual income number to be inaccurate. So, just another reason why I didn't want to release this spreadsheet too early. As I mentioned earlier, I am no longer going to be buying SCHD in my personal account, and I am still going to be holding the shares for now until the ex-dividend date and when I receive my dividend for SCHD in this account, just so I can get paid my dividend, really. But once I get my dividend in SCHD in my non-registered account, I will be liquidating my SCHD position in this account and then moving it over to my RRSP over time. And then kind of the same thing in the RRSP, I'm now buying VOO instead of VFV, and I'm just holding my VFV shares until I get the next dividend, which is in the next couple weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks or something. Once I receive the dividend for VFV in this account, I will be liquidating all my VFV shares and moving it over to VOO. As for the TFSA, everything should be staying relatively the same. We might be lowering how much we're buying every week just because the end of the year is nearing, and so is our contribution limit. And then lastly, we're about 2 weeks away from opening our FHSA, which is very, very exciting. I'll have a video going into more detail about my plans for the FHSA, so look out for that video. With the few dividends we received over the last week, it brings our September total in our TFSA up to $9.51. Our RRSP total for September up to $2.18 worth of dividends. And then lastly, in our personal account, our total for September is at $3.86. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for this week's portfolio update video. Be sure to leave a like down below. We're trying to reach 40 likes on this one. And if you're not already subscribed with that bell icon hit, be sure to do so you never miss a video in the future. And so you help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Before we know it, it is going to be January 1st, and it's creeping up fast whether we like it or not. But anyways, that's going to do it for me, everyone. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.